I did want to talk about, I went on Jenny McCarthy's show a couple weeks ago, and Jenny asked me, there was about 3 years ago, there was Brandi Glanville and I went on a Watch What Happens, and we got in a little bit of a tiff, and she threw a drink at me. And since then, everything's been resolved. It's over. But Jenny asked me, was that real? And I said, yes, it was. But there is a difference of opinion here, because what happened is normally Watch What Happens, we go in the green room and we have drinks. And so Brandi and I were having drinks and we were talking, and I said, look, you can't insult me. Like, come after me, like, have fun. Like, you can poke at me, you can jab at me, do whatever you want. Let's have a good time. So I gave her just complete freedom to do so. So we were kind of bantering back and forth, and then there was a point where it escalated, and I thought that I had maybe gone too far, and I made a comment, like, I think it was about an STD, because she had mentioned it in her book, and it was an off-color comment, and I felt like I went too far. She threw the drink at me. Now, I thought at the time that this was real, like this was really happening, meaning that I was shocked that she had thrown the drink at me. And then I felt like, oh my God, I went too far with this, and I took this joke too far. So then she says, no, this was all a hoax, and Jeff was in on it. Well, I knew that we were joking around together, but I was actually 100% genuinely surprised when the drink hit me, and I did think I went too far. So after the show, I apologized, and then we had agreed to meet up. I said, let me buy you a drink, whatever. And so
to throw on me again.
Right, exactly. So, and I felt like I was smoothing things over, and we were smoothing things over. And then she had said, I was kidding. And I said, well, it didn't really seem like you were kidding, but I mean, you must be a really great actress, because I really thought you were upset. And I still kind of maybe to this day think she was, but there was a lot of hate on social media. And I think maybe that's why she said, hey, this whole thing was a hoax, which, so we have a definite difference of opinion, but whatever. So she didn't show up for the drinks. It was snowing that night. I waited outside the restaurant for 20 minutes.
What?
And then I realized that she wasn't showing up.
When was this?
This was 3 years ago.
It was in December in New York.
And you know what? I didn't blame her. I thought, whatever.
She's still mad.
She's still mad at me. Whatever.
Yeah,
So-
me not showing up was a hoax.
Right. So I had run into her. So there was kind of some back and forth on social media, and then there was some like news reports here and there. Whatever. About a year later, afterwards, I ran into her at Craig's, and we had a drink, and everything was cool. It was smoothed over. So then on Jenny brought it up. It was like 3 years later, and she said, was that real? And I said, yes, it was real. And but then I go on to say, I actually really like Brandi, and I have always really liked Brandi. Aside from this little incident that I felt like we got over, I have always really liked Brandi. And, maybe I relate to her a little bit. I think that she is definitely very reactionary and defensive, and I think that she's very quick to defend herself. And there's always been this part of me that like empathizes with her, where maybe she's a little bit broken, and I feel like even for me, like I'm a little bit broken. So I guess I relate to her on that level. Okay, moving forward. So this is what she says. So here is some BS. Please understand, at Jenny McCarthy, at Andy, this person, at Jeff Lewis, is a fucking liar on every level. I'm pretty sure our text will prove it. Jeff, loser/liar Lewis. So that was harsh.
Yeah, you think?
Reacting again.
Right.
It's like if there was a drink there.
Well,
You know.
my guess is that somebody tweeted to her, Jeff said something about you on Jenny McCarthy. She probably didn't listen to it, because if she had listened to it, she would have heard, I really like Brandi, and we have worked things out. That's what I said on Jenny. So then she says, then the tweet gets deleted. She says, deleted my last tweet because I'm so over it at this point. Time to move on. I'm tired of hearing about it and tired of being tagged in articles about it. #done. Okay, she needs to understand that I have no interest in reigniting this at all. I thought this was over. So then I tweet her, what are we fighting about now at Brandi Glanville? I thought we worked out our differences years ago, ? So then this morning I wake up to this. I'm not fighting with anyone at Jeff Lewis. I just don't understand why you keep addressing the incident, not telling the truth. Why can't you be truthful about it? We were joking. You said you were going to come at me hard, and you did. It was your idea for me to throw the wine. Okay, well, it wasn't my idea to throw the wine, number one. Number two, I'm saying my recollection of that evening, which is I was not aware when we got to that point that was a joke. So I don't know what else to say about it, but I don't appreciate her coming at me and like saying all of these nasty things, because I wouldn't say that about her. I was actually very complimentary about her on Jenny. So whatever. I'm not. I have enough problems right now. I'm not. I'm not interested in creating another
when you
enemy.
start having fights on social media, and I know people do it. I mean, I've never done it. I couldn't imagine airing my dirty laundry especially if you're friends with somebody, But then you have to kind of question, what kind of friends are you?
I feel like she should have texted you.
Yeah,
Maybe.
DM me.
Yeah.
Well, it also, that Jenny interview was with Jenny McCarthy was 3 weeks ago when you were in New York. It's old. I mean, it's
old
older
news.
news.
I
Yeah.
looked for her phone number because I was hoping I had her phone number, which I don't anymore. Because I was going to text her hey,
Yeah.
let's resolve this here. I have no ill will towards you. Let's move on. I want to move on, but I can't help it if I'm in an interview and Jenny McCarthy brings up something from 3 years ago.
Right.
And I announced it. I mean, I responded,
Right.
but I thought I handled it
were very nice,
very
yeah.
diplomatically.
Yeah.
So, here we go again. I don't, look, I don't want to start a fight with her, but if you continue to say these nasty things about me, we're gonna have a fight. I'm sorry, you're gonna force me to defend myself.
I'm going to give you a reason to throw a drink.